why are we choosing our customer first? Okay, this is one of the most recession-proof strategies. This is going to strengthen you in an economic downtime. You know how they say some businesses thrive during a recession and some businesses really struggle and take a hit. You want to be one of the thriving businesses, and choosing your customer is going to allow you to thrive. You're going to be able to avoid price-sensitive problem customers. These are the customers who are the most price-sensitive, and they tend also to be the ones who try to do a lot of returns or have customer service issues after they place their order. They'll do anything to squeeze pennies out of you before, during, and after the sale. We do not want that. Your time is way too valuable, and that time cuts into your margins, whether you realize it or not. We want to avoid the price battle and choose which battle we want to participate in on Etsy. The price one is the one battle we do not want to play, okay? The price battle, it's to serve discount customers, and it never ends well. Another reason we want to choose our customer first is because you can choose a buyer versus a browser. You'll see higher conversion rates because these people know what they want. You don't have to convince them. And this lesson is so important because if you choose the wrong customer, okay, if we make the wrong choice in which customer we pick right now, then the choices that follow, which are the product, the pricing strategy, the branding strategy, that's going to take you down the wrong path. And it's not the multi-six-figure path, okay? My goal here is to take you on a path to multi-six figures on Etsy. I want you to hit your goals. And if you choose the wrong customer, you're going to set foot on the wrong path. It's not going to get you there the fastest, and it's going to be a struggle the next 12 to 18 months. So our job right now, the most important thing is choosing the right customer. So in our strategy, what I'm teaching you is that we're going to choose the customer first and then choose the products, the prices, and the branding. If you choose your products first, then what would happen? How would you know what products to choose? You're just going to have to hope that someone somewhere would see it and want it. But you don't know exactly who that person is until you list the product and it starts selling. That's not the approach we want to take. That's throwing spaghetti at the wall. And what if the product isn't exactly what the customer wants or needs? What if something about it is a little bit off? What if you miss the mark a little bit with that product and it's not exactly what they want or need? Well, I can guarantee you that there's someone out there who's been on Etsy longer and has a better track record who has nailed what that customer wants and needs. So if you're missing it just a little bit and you're a newer shop or have lower sales or fewer reviews, you're not going to get the sale. So we do not want to choose our product first. Our job right now is to meet customers where they are at with our offering that is something created specifically for them. It's what they want or need. If you don't know which customer you're meeting with your product, then you're throwing spaghetti at the wall. So we need to choose our customer, take the product to them, bring them the offering of what they want or need. So what about choosing your brand first? You know, a lot of people choose their brand before they choose their customer. Now, if you choose your brand first, which many people do, then how would you know what types of products and what type of people would resonate with that? If all you're creating is a brand, it's like a pretty package, right? It's an aesthetic. It's a cohesive vibe or experience. Then how would you know exactly who will identify with that brand and what they would want that would fit within the constraints of the brand or the vibe that you created? You're really limiting yourself and you're kind of putting the cart before the horse. If all you have is a brand, how would you even know who is going to pay for that? And how would you know what they would pay for that fits within that? It's really easy to miss the mark if you start with a brand. So I want you to remember that just because you have a brand does not mean that you have a customer. There's a lot of Etsy shops out there where you'll take a look and on the surface, it looks like, okay, this looks like a good brand. All their colors go together. It's, you know, a good aesthetic. It seems, you know, really clean and organized, but they have hardly any sales. This is because they've created a brand, they've created a vibe or a feeling in their shop that they wanted. You know, the colors they wanted, the fonts they wanted, they have a great logo, all their listings have the same kind of aesthetic, but they have no sales. And that's because they didn't start with the intention of who those listings were for. They didn't start with the intention of what products are for those specific people. They started with the vibe and the feeling and without thinking of who's actually going to be paying for it. So just because you have a brand does not mean that you have a customer. That's why we need to start with the customer first. And I have to put this up again because this is just simply so true. And this is the critical point in what sets this strategy apart. Just because you have a brand doesn't mean you have a customer. So why this lesson is so important is because if you choose the wrong customer right now, then it's a lot harder to pivot and reinvent your business. It's a lot harder to be agile and to anticipate things. If you choose the wrong customer, you're off on the wrong foot, okay? Choosing a customer, it's an investment in the time, money, and marketing that you're doing to create customer loyalty. So when you choose a customer, you're putting a lot of investment and effort into growing that customer and that market. And if you choose the wrong customer, you're spending all the time trying to build this relationship with a group of people that you are not aligned with and that you were not intended to sell to, people that really aren't interested in buying from you. So it's forcing a relationship that just simply isn't meant to be. It's kind of like when you're dating, okay? If you're dating a person that is not the right fit for you, you are investing your time and energy into building a relationship that's not going to be long-term sustainable, and you're not going to see the fruits of your labor. So changing your customer eliminates the value of that loyalty that you've worked to build up. If you choose the wrong customer and you have to pivot and change to a different customer, all the hard work that you've spent building that customer loyalty and building that relationship with them to encourage repeat business, like that's going to be a waste of time.